Mumbi Phiri drops bombshell, Sunday Chanda will lose his seat for betraying voters. It's one of the strongest political warnings yet, and it's coming from within the opposition ranks. Mumbi Phiri says Sunday Chanda has betrayed the very voters who put him in parliament, and that betrayal, she argues, will cost him his seat. But what exactly is the betrayal? And are electorates really prepared to punish their MPs at the ballot box? Tonight, we examine the facts, the accusations, and the political consequences. Part 1: Dramatic Hook. Good day, viewers. Welcome to another edition of the InspirAfrica Official. I'm Nakash. You know, as we enter this new week, there's a certain electricity in Zambian politics that's impossible to ignore. The kind of tension that makes you sit up and pay attention. And today, we're diving into a story that's sending shockwaves through the corridors of power. Our lead story today? A political bombshell that could reshape the landscape of Zambian representation. Picture this: a seasoned politician, a veteran of Zambia's political wars, standing before microphones with fire in her eyes and certainty in her voice. The air is thick with anticipation. Cameras flash. Journalists lean forward. And then, she speaks words that cut through the political noise like a knife through butter, words that spell potential doom for one of the ruling party's most vocal figures. What happens when loyalty becomes betrayal? When a representative elected to serve the people allegedly turns his back on the very voters who put their trust in him? What price must be paid when promises made on campaign trails crumble into dust? Can a politician survive the wrath of both his constituents and his own party heavyweights? What does it mean when someone of Mumbi Phiri's stature, a woman who has weathered countless political storms, declares with absolute conviction that a sitting member's days are numbered? Is this political theater, or are we witnessing the beginning of an actual political execution? And perhaps most importantly, in a democracy, who truly holds the power, the elected representative, or the people who can take that power away? Factual foundation. The revelation came to light during what can only be described as a charged political gathering in Lusaka this past week. It was Tuesday afternoon, January 2, 2026, when Mumbi Phiri, former Patriotic Front Deputy Secretary General and a figure whose political instincts have been honed over decades, stepped up to address party supporters and media representatives. The venue was packed. The atmosphere, expectant. The target of her scathing assessment? Sunday Chanda, the current Kanyama Member of Parliament and former UPND spokesperson, a man known for his sharp tongue and uncompromising defense of his party's positions on social media and in public forums. But this wasn't about policy disagreements or routine political sparring. No, the accusation that Phiri leveled was far more fundamental, far more damaging. According to Phiri, the trouble began shortly after Chanda's election to represent Kanyama constituency. Initial whispers of discontent from constituents, complaints about accessibility, about promises unfulfilled, about a representative who seemed more interested in national political warfare than local development. These murmurs, Phiri suggested, gradually grew into a chorus of disappointment. The specific trigger for Phiri's public declaration appears to be a series of alleged instances where Chanda failed to deliver on key constituency development initiatives. Reports from community leaders in Kanyama, according to sources present at the gathering, painted a picture of a constituency feeling abandoned. Infrastructure projects stalled. Youth employment programs never materialized. Community engagement minimal at best. By late 2025, Phiri claims, the situation had deteriorated to such a degree that consultations were held among party elders and constituency stakeholders. The consensus, she asserts, was damning. Direct evidence. Mumbi Phiri did not mince words. Standing at that podium, her voice carried the weight of someone making not a prediction, but a declaration. Sunday Chanda, she stated clearly, will lose his seat. Not maybe. Not possibly. He will lose his seat. She continued, her tone mixing disappointment with certainty. When you are elected by the people, you have one job: to serve those people. To be present. To fight for their development. To make their voices heard in Parliament. Sunday has forgotten this fundamental truth. A reporter interjected, asking for clarification. Madam Phiri, are you saying the party will take action, or are you referring to the voters? Phiri's response was swift and unambiguous, both. You see, when a member of parliament betrays the trust of his voters, the consequences come from multiple directions. The party leadership is watching. We are not blind. But more importantly, the people themselves, the people of Kanyama. They have eyes. They have voices. And they have power. What specific betrayals are you referring to? Another journalist pressed. Where do I start? Phiri replied, a bitter edge creeping into her voice. The youth employment initiative he promised, where is it? The road rehabilitation projects, where are they? When last did he hold a proper constituency meeting? When last did residents see him walking in their communities, listening to their concerns? So, you ask me what betrayals? I ask you. What promises has he kept? She paused, letting the questions hang in the air, before continuing, politics is not about Twitter wars. It's not about being on television every day defending the party at national level while your own backyard burns. Your constituents elected you to represent them, not to be a national spokesperson. Sunday has confused his role, and now he will pay the price for that confusion. When pressed on the timeline, Phiri was equally direct. These things have a way of unfolding. The mechanisms are in motion. Whether it comes through a recall petition from constituents or through party disciplinary processes, the outcome will be the same. He will lose that seat. It's not a threat. It's simply reality catching up with political negligence. Deeper analysis. The implications of Phiri's bombshell extend far beyond one constituency or one politician's career. At its core, this situation raises fundamental questions about political accountability in Zambia's democratic system. What are the real mechanisms available to constituents when they feel betrayed by their elected representative? Zambia's constitution does provide for the possibility of recall, but the process is complex and rarely successfully executed. From the UPND party's perspective, the situation is delicate. Sunday Chanda has been a loyal and vocal defender of the party, particularly during their time in opposition and in the early years of President Hakainde Hichilema's administration. Losing such a spokesperson could be seen as a blow to the party's communication machinery. Yet, if Phiri's claims about constituent dissatisfaction are accurate, the party faces a different dilemma. Can they afford to be seen as protecting an underperforming MP simply because he's useful at the national level? Political analyst Dr. Lizwi Simakanda, commenting on similar cases in the past, has noted, the tension between national political value and local constituency service is one that many MPs struggle with. Those who get the balance wrong often find themselves vulnerable, regardless of how prominent they are nationally. Opposition parties, predictably, have seized on Phiri's statement as evidence of cracks within the ruling party and as confirmation of what they've long alleged, that UPND MPs are more focused on consolidating power than on delivering services to citizens. Meanwhile, civil society organizations focused on governance have pointed to this as a teachable moment about the importance of constituency service and the need for stronger accountability mechanisms that empower voters to hold their representatives to account. There are also unresolved questions. What specific evidence exists regarding Chanda's constituency work? Have there been formal complaints lodged? What do Kanyama residents themselves say about their representation? Is there indeed a recall process underway, or is Phiri's statement more political pressure than actual procedural reality? The ambiguity in Phiri's statement, between party action and voter action, is itself significant. It suggests multiple pressure points converging on one individual, but the actual mechanisms and timelines remain unclear. This case also connects to larger concerns about Zambia's representative democracy. How do we ensure MPs remain connected to their constituents? What role should parties play in enforcing accountability? And perhaps most critically, in an age of social media politics, are we creating a class of politicians who are excellent at national political theater but disconnected from the unglamorous, difficult work of constituency service? And there you have it, viewers, a political bombshell that raises as many questions as it answers. Will Sunday Chanda indeed lose his seat? Will the mechanisms Mumbi Phiri alluded to actually materialize into concrete action? And what does this mean for the broader conversation about political accountability in Zambia? These are questions we'll be following closely in the days and weeks ahead. Because this story is far from over, in many ways, it feels like it's only just beginning. I want to hear from you in the comments below. Do you think constituents have the power to effectively recall underperforming MPs? Should party loyalty at the national level protect politicians from local accountability? And if you're from Kenyuma constituency, we especially want to hear your perspective on your representation. Thank you for watching this edition of InspirAfrica Official. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter, more analysis that cuts through the noise, and more of the conversations that shape our continent. Until then, stay informed, stay engaged, and stay inspired. I'm Nakash. Good day.